Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Madoka Magica Season 1, Episode 4. So, man, last time we had Mommy probably dead based on their reaction, and what we saw happen. That's pretty crazy, especially after I was accusing her, because we had a random grief seed appear that even, I believe it was Cube, said, like, that's not normal, that's weird. So I take that as, I have a feeling someone did it. I thought maybe it was Mommy trying to get them to get into a tight position so that way they would take the wish and become magical girls, and then she would have people close to her. Kind of like a little bit of a manipulation from someone who's kind of alone and desperate, but turns out I'm wrong and she's just dead, or at least it seems like that's the case. So, yeah, damn. Okay. And then I also keep getting more and more vibes that Akemi is, like, potentially the good guy of the story. I feel like we're gonna have that uncovered. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. It's just some of the stuff that she does. I mean, she's definitely trying to prevent them to become magical girls, and she says it's because she, it feels like she doesn't want anyone else to get hurt in a way that she was hurt, right? But I feel like there might be more to it. So I don't think Akemi is the one that put the grief seed there. So I don't know. Unless it was somehow Cube or something. But yeah, I guess Cube was aware of the name of Sayaka's friend, right? And the one that's in the hospital. And then this popped up near the hospital, I think, because Sayaka was like, no, we can't let this linger. Not here, and then she thought of him in the hospital. So, yeah, maybe this is all a manipulation from Cuba. We'll have to see. So, I have no idea. I'm excited, though, because this show is throwing me for loops. We're going to start here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Who? Oh, the hospital. Did she make her wish? Is he out? Oh. Hmm. Okay, we're gonna get this story, huh? The accident. Damn. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Well, shit. Ominous. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit more of the story. We at least know, like, a little bit more of what's wrong with him. There was some kind of accident that caused him to, uh, not be able to walk. Although, during that physical therapy, it looks like he was walking a little bit. He just can't, obviously not full function kind of thing. So it's not like his legs aren't working at all right now, and they're hoping maybe he gets it back. But apparently, with whatever happened to his arms and hands, there's there's no way he can play again, which is really sad. Someone that young losing something really important to them, like a hobby like that. All right. Miracles and magic do exist. Maybe Sayaka makes her choice this episode. Egg. Jeez. Oh. She can't really talk about it either. Oh, the kid. Oh. Sayaka's good at putting up a front, and you can tell. Yeah. They're both going through some shit. Sayaka's really good at putting on that front, while Madoka isn't. It's the teacher projecting her emotions again. Maybe it is part of the teaching. I just imagine that she was kind of referencing herself, being like, I can still find love. Hmm. Yeah, you know something they don't. Mm-hmm. Cut to Cube's face after that is interesting. That would be scary. It's one of those really stark moments where everyone tried every single way to tell Madoka that this is what could happen, and Madoka didn't care until it actually happened, you know? It's a very kid thing. So there's, I mean, it makes sense that there's others. Hmm. Interesting, okay. Damn. You don't have the right to talk shit. Wow. Yeah, just if you're not gonna take it, I gotta move on to a different one. Hmm. Damn. Really interesting the way the story is going. Is this mommy's that she's going to? Although it doesn't. I mean, it's a lot darker, so maybe it is, but it doesn't quite look like what it looked like before. Well, shit. Okay. What do you want? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, is there really nothing they did? I mean, I suppose Madoka's the one that brought Mommy to that seed, right? So I can understand why Madoka's kind of blaming herself more. If Sayaka and Madoka just left and ignored that seed, maybe Mommy wouldn't have died, but this was her territory, so maybe she would have just found it later and died to it anyway. So I can't really blame Madoka for it. Damn. Shit. Well, I suppose if she stops paying for the apartment, right? Assuming she's the one paying for it. Wow. So there was no body, no nothing left behind, huh? It was just gone. She's just gone. Be some shit if she was somehow still alive, came back later. But probably not. Yeah. That is really sad. It really is. Hmm. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, she won't forget about you either. I watched a reaction of someone watching Monogatari a little bit, and they talked about how Chef Studio loves to do head tilts. And that's something that stuck with me for a long time. And now they do it a lot in Monogatari, all of them. But in this one, it's funny. Every time I see it, I just notice it, you know? Like, just when it cuts to the head tilts and everything. I know other anime do head tilts, it's just this one does it a lot, I guess. Hmm. Very sad episode. Kind of the aftermath, everyone dealing with it. Wait, what? Why all of a sudden? Whoa, whoa. What? Shit. Hmm. Is Sayaka gonna... Yeah. That's sad. I mean, I guess... I don't know. There's the episode title. Alright, Sayaka. Oh, shit! Damn. She gonna do it, and then maybe because she does it, I wonder if Madoka does it. Hmm. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Yeah. She's being affected by a witch. Hmm. Creepy. Oh boy. That's creepy. Oh, don't walk like that. Hmm. Everything just seems to be pushing these two, like... I mean, I guess there's several people that aren't her, with a whole bunch of people being pulled. Maybe it is a coincidence. I don't know, though. Shit. That's scary. Well, are we gonna have both characters be making their choice here soon? Oh. Shit. That's gonna kill everyone in here? Oh, you're gonna stop her. Shit. That's so scary. Nope, don't clap. Nope. Creepy cult shit. I know they can't help it, but... Nice. Hopefully that helps. Uh-oh. They're like zombies, man. Shit. Yeah, damn, well... Now that she's not there, they're free to do what they want, though, which is also scary. Uh-oh. God damn. Kyubey gonna magically show up, like... Or is Sayaka gonna show up, maybe? With powers. Is that maybe what's gonna happen? Oh, what the fuck? I hope that's just trippy shit. And not death. Shit. Oh boy. I would say, come on, Madoka, you can do it, but she has no powers. She can't. Like, legit, the only option is either somehow Kyubey can still give her her powers. Aww. Wow, is that her memory, or is this witch really replaying that? I mean, maybe that's how the witch fucks with you, is by showing you what you feel grief about, you know? Grief seeds. Either Madoka gets powers, or Sayaka shows up. Jesus! Oh! Yep. Someone's here. Or Akemi realizes what's going on. Yep. Sayaka did it. Damn. Yo, she's got a cape. Is it just, like, instinct to know how to, like, use your powers? What are her powers? She's kind of... Oh, she has a sword! I guess she had a baseball bat before. It's fitting. Wow. Okay. She took out her first wit. Oh. Akemi saw that shit, though. Hmm. Oh, man. I feel bad that Sayaka picked this for that reason, too. Well. So, did the wish work? Oh. I guess so. Will he think back to what she said about magic being real? Will he realize that she's the one that did it? Oh, we got a new... Hmm. Well, alright, so we have, Kyoko. Well, she seems nice. Alright, well. Damn. Shit! That was an interesting episode. We had, you know, obviously the sadness of mourning mommy in the beginning, and then it kind of went crazy in the end with, you know, Sayaka dealing with Kyosuke and his issues and everything, and just feeling bad for him and taking this because of that. I feel bad for her that she kind of felt like she had to do that, you know? But we'll talk more about that in a few. Yeah, no, it was an amazing episode. I'm sorry if I was a little bit, like, out of it, I guess. Like, I was really into the episode. It was so melancholy in the beginning that I felt kind of melancholy too, you know? So I didn't, like, my emotions weren't heightened at the time or anything, so I didn't really have a lot to, like, say or react or whatever, so I felt like I was a little bit, like, blah. Even though I really loved the episode, like, I just don't think that translated to my reaction very well. But damn. This is creepy. Is this different, or have I just not ever paid attention enough to this? Alright. That is it, guys, for episode 4. 4. Yeah, okay, so I want to jump right into kind of the mommy stuff, which I didn't really talk too much, or I didn't really say too much in the reaction. I mean, I talked a little bit, but, it's really, really sad what they're going through, and I really like what I did say during the reaction in regards to Madoka being scared, right? Like, everyone told her that this is dangerous, you know? Like, Mommy said you could die doing this. Akemi said you could die doing this. I'm pretty sure even Kyubey said that this job is dangerous, and people die doing it. And it's such a child thing to see, like, oh, but you have powers, that's cool. I want that, right? And she was all for it until Mommy died. And then she realized, oh, wow, you could die doing this. And it's like, yeah, this is what people have been telling you, Madoka. Like, but like I said, it's such a childish thing, you know? And she is a child, so it makes perfect sense. Once again, I had this conversation in the last episode where characters in anime, sometimes they're like high school kids and they're still kids, but they feel like they still make those adult choices, they have kind of those adult instincts and everything. But this anime does such a good job of just reminding you that these are kids, you know? And this is what kids do. It's way more realistic in that sense. So Madoka turned down the wish, and Sayaka at the time did too, you know. But obviously she changed her mind, and we'll get into that in a minute. But they also had the talk about how most magical girls are in it for personal gain. Like, Mommy was different. Now, I imagine if there's a lot of magical girls, I imagine there's at least a couple more that are a little bit like Mommy that do want to help people. But now we have people like Kyoko coming in here who clearly just doesn't want to share, wants to just try to take this area for herself, you know, and stuff like that. But I mean, to be fair, now that she got her wish and she got her powers, if Kyoko takes this area for herself, does that mean Sayaka is forced to move on? Could Sayaka just chill and just not use her powers? Be like, oh, okay, Kyoko, you can just have this area, and now I don't have to do anything. And I got my wish and get to eat my cake too, you know? I don't have to risk my life, you can do it. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm sure, like, anime characters are always so eager, maybe it doesn't work, or maybe Kyoko, or, I'm not sorry, not Kyoko, Kyubey doesn't allow you to do that. Like, if Kyoko were to take this area, would Sayaka be forced to move to, like, her own area? Like, how does that work? How's the division of labor between magical girls across this world? I don't know. Because, like, part of the deal is you become a magical girl and fight witches, and I give you this wish. So it's like, if she doesn't hold up her end of the bargain, what happens? Like, if she just stops fighting now? I don't know. maybe Kyubey, now that this contract has been made, maybe Kyubey, who couldn't really do much before, can now enforce it more. Or maybe Kyubey is capable of just rescinding the wish or something too, right? Like, okay, well now your little boyfriend's fingers aren't gonna work, you know? So, uh, but, but yeah, I also really feel bad for Sayaka, who, you know, and Kyosuke. Like I don't blame Kyosuke for the reaction he had this episode, right? But Sayaka having this option in her back pocket to be able to save this kid, someone she deeply cares about, and she decided not to use it, and then of course, in typical anime fashion, now's the time that the kid chose to, you know, throw a little tantrum, which helped convince her to, which he might have also just got the news too, but yeah, like that was rough timing. Where right when she decided, oh, I'm not gonna do this, he throws his tantrum, and she's like, oh shit, okay, maybe I will. So it's yeah, it's definitely sad. But you know, his situation being in this accident, like losing most usage of his legs, he was kind of walking during the PT, but then apparently his fingers just like didn't work, you know, and that's really tragic for someone who's a aspiring violinist that loved what he did and now can't. And I can understand why he reacted in the way that he did, where Sayaka keeps bringing him music, and that's the source of his pain right now, so he lashes out and everything, even if he didn't mean what he said to her, which he probably didn't. So, and I was thinking about that, like, being told by the doctors at that young of an age to just give up. Like, it's good and bad. Like, it seems, on the surface level, my first thought was, oh, that's kind of fucked up that the doctors just told him to give up. But the thing is if he wasn't able to ever do it again, like, medically speaking, there is no shot in this world that he would be able to move his fingers again, right? Like, then, because there's some forms of like paralysis and stuff where if you work hard enough, there's a chance you'll be able to do it again, right? And then there's some forms where it's like, no, this is like confirmed, like it's never happening, you know? So, if it is confirmed never happening, it probably is good to tell him, as messed up as it is, to give up on his dreams, right? Like, it sounds so fucked up to say, but the thing is if you're gonna keep him dreaming, he's gonna keep trying to work at it every day, only to fail. You tell him it now, he goes through all the grief needed, and then finds something else to be passionate about, maybe, or comes to accept it sooner, rather than hoping and dreaming for something that's never gonna be. So, anyway, yeah. It's definitely a rough situation. But because Sayaka saw that, because of the way he lashed out at her, she felt obligated to do this for him, and now she put herself in a situation where she's putting herself in danger for however long you're a magical girl. Like, do you ever retire? Like, if you live to be a certain age, do you eventually, like, you're not a magical girl anymore? Like, or could there be a magical girl out there that's like 40 years old and she's like, I've been doing this forever, you know? Like, or an 80-year-old woman just like still like, yeah, you know, like with her magical powers. I don't know. But maybe that's something we'll learn as we go, or maybe it'll never come to that, because just inevitably you're going to encounter something that you either had bad luck or you're not strong enough to handle, and you die. And that's just the fate of all magical girls, and none live old enough to be able to find out if there's an age limit, right? But either way, so Sayaka might have taken on this task that will take her the rest of her life to accomplish, just to save this kid. And I mean, now she did say, you know, he said there's nothing that can help me, and she's like, there's magic, you know, like magic exists and stuff. And then suddenly he got his fingers back working and everything. So I wonder if he's gonna put two and two together. You know, we had the whole conversation with Mommy of like, do you want him to know it was you, or do you just want him to be better, right? So I wonder, will he know it was her, or will she tell? I guess I don't even know if she can tell him. It might be against the rules. So I'm really interested to see where that goes with Sayaka. And now I feel like Madoka, because Sayaka did it, it's like a vicious chain, right? Like, because Sayaka did it, now Madoka is going to be more likely to fall into this world because, one, she already knows about this shit existing and she sees one of her friends, like, roaming off and she tries to help her, you know, and stumbles into a witch just naturally. Well, I say naturally, but I still think there's something, you know, she went her entire life not knowing this shit existed, right? Never seeing one, never nothing. And then suddenly, like, 2 instances of random occurrence of, like, stumbling upon witch stuff. I don't think so. There's something pushing these girls to become it, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what that is. Whether it's Kyubey, whether it's Akemi, but I doubt it, because it seems contradictory to everything Akemi's like. I think Akemi's just trying to keep them out of this as much as she can. So, like, I don't think it's her. Unless there's, like, a third party, by my crazy theory of Mommy still somehow being alive and manipulating things behind the scenes. I don't know, it's probably not that, but I have a feeling it's Kyubey, because Kyubey was very quick to be like, alright, I'll just go head off and go find more magical girls, but then as soon as Sayaka is ready to make the choice, Kyubey's there, you know? How did Kyubey know? I mean, maybe there was something more to it, maybe it's not anything malicious, but we'll have to see. So there's definitely that. But basically my point was, with Sayaka being into it, and then people around her being pulled by witches and stuff, I think it's a matter of time before Madoka takes the power, and once again, it's going to be kind of like Sayaka, you know? Madoka is going to feel forced to take this power in order to save someone, you know? And even if she doesn't necessarily really want to be this magical girl, and then Akemi's going to show up 2 minutes later and be like, I can't believe you did this. Now, did Akemi just not get there soon enough? Right? Like, did Sayaka just beat her to it? Is that what happened? Because Akemi was, like, standing there on that light post watching. It's like, I doubt Akemi was standing there watching Madoka, like, getting killed or whatever was happening to Madoka in there, right? It's hard to tell whether she's being killed. At one point, she was pulled into pieces, like, bubbled, and, like, pulled into the TVs. And then the next bit, she's being stretched, and I don't know, like, is that being stretched, is that a bad thing? Is that her being killed? Like, what constitutes damage to your body when you're within that psychedelic world? So it's really, that's one thing that's also hard to follow along. Like, I don't know if I should be scared for Madoka. I mean, I feel like overall, in the long term, I'm scared for Madoka, but in this exact instant when her limbs are being pulled, is that, like, if it went on too long, is that death, you know? But we also saw her fall apart and be back together, so it's like, I don't know. That's probably one of the hardest things about this show with the witch's powers and everything, but yeah, Akemi just watching, I feel like it's made to be more ominous than it is. I feel like Sayaka got there, and then Akemi got there, and saw that Sayaka was already transformed and already fighting, and just watched, right? I feel like that might have been the case. I don't think it's something where Akemi was standing there watching, and then Sayaka showed up and helped. I think Akemi would have helped if she got there first. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm curious to see what goes on with Kyoko. Seems like, I mean, maybe we will have a witch. Like, we had kind of some, I mean, Akemi was trying to fight Kyubey and everything before. We had some problems with that, and then a witch showed up in the middle and interrupted the fight. So maybe once again, maybe Kyoko's gonna come in and start beating up Sayaka or whatever, and either Madoka's gonna have to take her powers to protect her from that, or a witch is gonna show up and interrupt their encounter. But I guess it is possible that we just deal with magical girls next episode and not at all a witch. That's what I was going to get into, and then I was like, well, maybe a witch will interrupt their fight, you know? So, it's also really interesting that these people, like, just these people taking these powers, I mean, I guess you get a wish, that's personal gain, and you're starting right off the gate with that, you know? And you're going to get these girls that they have to risk their lives. It makes sense that they want to get something out of it. Now, I do really wonder what the other rewards are for collecting grief seeds, because replenishing your power doesn't seem like enough of a reward for Kyoko to be like, ah, yes, I want this area because it's like very good for taking out witches or whatever. It's like, well, why do you want to take out witches? Is it just to restore your powers? But once you restore your powers, shouldn't you be good for a while? But they said, I'm pretty sure they said there's multiple rewards for turning into Grief Seed, so I'm really curious what that is. Like, why, what personal gain are they gaining by doing this? I guess, well, especially since no one in the world knows that this is going on except other magical girls. But yeah, interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to more. I really love this show so far. It's really interesting. It delves deep. It has dark themes. But it has psychedelic witches and just young magical girls craziness where it feels like that shouldn't have dark themes, but it does. And I love the contradiction, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, despite this episode being very melancholy with the death of Mami and seeing our characters try to deal with that. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. 2 episodes ahead through the early access tier on my Patreon. Links in the description should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.